I don't even know if this is worth doing a video on, but we'll shoot anyways. This is a TX3 standard motor products. This is a recommended replacement for the Sniper coolant temp sensor. Nothing wrong with, well, I shouldn't say nothing's wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it as far as when it's up to temperature, it looks correct, but it doesn't, it seems to fall off. The accuracy seems to fall off the lower the temperature reads. And I suspect it's probably a coolant temp sensor. This is kind of a known thing with the Snipers, that the sensor that it comes with doesn't read accurately. So we're going to do a little comparison. We'll turn the key on and check it right now. I suspect with the temperature out here, it's going to read somewhere between 70 and 80 degrees, which I know it's not. It should be somewhere in the 60s. The coolant temperature, I would think, would be around the 60s, maybe 70. So we're going to read it. Yesterday when I turned the key on, it said it was 84, and there's just no way. So we're going to give this a shot, and we'll just do a quick comparison on it. I'm going to swap it out. I'm not even draining the coolant. It's so easy to get to. You just pop it out and pop this in. You only lose a little bit of coolant. It's already got sealant on it already. So let's give it a shot. All right, so first let's check it and see what it's reading before I change it out. Turn the key on, and let's see what it says. 80. See if I could just get this thing to, there we go, 80 degrees. So, and by the way, the threshold for low temp is 80 degrees, and the reason it kind of flickers is because it's only showing 80, but it goes in tenths in the computer on the ECU side. So if it gets up to 80.5, you know, it rounds up, and it doesn't round up. It gets up to 80.5 and the indicator turns off. So reading 80 degrees right now. I think that's definitely too high. There's no way the coolant is 80 degrees. So let's go ahead and swap out the sensor, and then we'll see what it reads afterwards. And just for quick reference, this is the replacement sensor. It's got a hard coat of sealant on it right now already. So you just insert it. Well, I had another thought in there, but I guess I know duh. I wanted to tell you guys it's 3/4 inch. So 3/4 inch deep socket will get you set up real easily. So let's swap it. So we swapped it out. I lost a little bit more coolant than I would have liked. And, you know, the only thing about that you got to be careful is you get air in the head, and now you got to get the air out of it. I think it'll be all right, though. It'll work its way out, and I've got the overflow tank, so it'll compensate for that. So remember, it was reading 80. Now there might be air in there. That's the other thing. There could be air in the head right there, so it's probably not going to read the same. But let's see if it reads considerably lower, and then we'll start it up so it gets some fluid rolling around it, and see what it goes to. $65. That's more like it. So, is that focusing? Of course not. There we go. 66. So it looks like it's not changing a whole lot. So, come on. There we go. All right. Well, that looks a whole lot better. And it will have coolant circulating around it right now if it's bypassing like it's supposed to. But we'll run it till the thermostat opens up. But yep, just like everybody says, you know, swap out the coolant temp sensor, and you'll get a more accurate reading. So let's let it warm up for a little bit and make sure everything looks good and it gets up to temp like it's supposed to and everything. And the reason that I know it was accurate before is because the thermostat, the temperature, once it got past like 160, it must have been accurate, because the thermostat's a 180 and it would open up at it would be fully open at 190, because thermostats start to open at the temperature that they're rated for. So, it was accurate in the higher temperature band, not accurate in the lower temperature band. So this is looking already much better, which here in California, I probably wouldn't notice a difference just because it's rarely cold here. But, you know, if it's 40 degrees out and the thing thinks that it's 80 or 70, your warm-up fuel is going to be all off a little bit. So, all right, let's let it warm up a little bit here. All right, so we're getting close to being able to check this here. We're at 180 degrees, 181, and the temperature gauge is still on cold. It's starting to move just a hair because I'm sure that there's some heat soaking in there. But this is gonna, as soon as this thing gets to about 185, 190, it's gonna just open right up. There, it's starting to move. There it is, and we're at 186. So I'd say that that's pretty damn accurate. 187. Yep. So yeah, we're looking way more accurate now. I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to do anything funny, like now my operating temperature would be off or something like that. It looks consistent with what it was before, and there we go. There's the temp is back down. So the thermostat's open now. It's falling just like it should. So that'll probably go all the way down to, who knows, 170, 165. You know, it's getting all that cold coolant cycling down in there. So yeah, that actually, it looks a little bit more accurate. Perhaps it was probably, we get up to about 190 before it would be fully open. So this makes sense. It's got a 180 degree thermostat in it. So this is exactly what we want to see. So this just a quick one. You know, I like those. I like these quick and easy ones where somebody's already kind of done this research. You know, the funny thing is the Phytech has the same problem. The temp sensors that come with it, that are, you know, GM knockoff sensors, which I need to look into it. It may very well be the same sensor. It's the same connector and it's a GM style. It may, if it's got the same resistance, it's the same sensor on the Phytech units, but they read consistently 20 degrees low, 20 degrees Fahrenheit low. So, you know, I don't. It's because I think they buy bulk knockoff sensors, you know, which I just don't get. Just, you know, look, OEM stuff is the best. You're gonna get something that's gonna last a long time because OEM stuff is subjected to the rigors of testing and quality assurance. The knockoff stuff is not. So, you know, but whatever. You know, why would Holley, especially such a big name, you would think that they would provide a real genuine AC Delco Delphi sensor with this, because that's what it's modeled after, but they don't. So anyways, this is the standard Motor Products TX3, I believe it is, sensor. It was like $10 or something on Amazon. I don't even remember. It wasn't even worth, you know, thinking about whether I'd buy it or not. We'll give it a shot. It's cheap enough. And problem solved. Not that it was really a problem for me, but you folks that live out there where it's cold, you know, it absolutely could be. If the thing doesn't read low enough, your cold fuel compensation, it'll start, but then it'll run like crap because it bases the compensation from whatever the lowest temperature is to 160. Once you get to 160, that's considered operating temp, and it doesn't, that the fuel table is full operating temp, but it compensates. It's got a curve that it enrichens below 160. And if you're off, if it thinks it's 80 when it's 60, you know, it's gonna be off. So, anyways, hopefully that's helpful.